what you just hit, it just went to words.
Yeah, I know, I'm working on it. I'm working on
Nah, phone the clean out.
it. Dang it.
What's wrong?
Let that stay like that. I gotta come on that side first. I got to let this me off. I can switch some stuff. There we go. Ooh, okay.
Hey, get that away from, get that, no, behind you, bro. They make them hats at the Drew.
Yes, sir.
I like that symbol on the side.
Oh, yeah, that Drew League logo, yeah, the D, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give me one shaking. Give me one shaking hot. Hit two. Hit one. Great. Okay, here we go.
What about that right there?
Yeah, he can come to that now, he don't make sure punches, right?
Okay,
Just gotta make sure everything is smooth and running.
everything's copacetic.
Uh-huh.
We got Punchy here. That nigga scared of the camera like a mother.
Punchy don't wanna be seen on the camera. Yeah, he wanna be behind the camera. No, Punch? Punchy behind the camera, man.
Man, don't tell me about that motherfucker, man.
You don't get everybody in front of
I've been knowing that nigga since the 7th grade.
Yeah, I've been doing the minute too.
Perfect.
That was Brother Bill for him.
Yeah, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I coached Bill in Boots. I used to coach him up in Drew.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, come on, man. When I came over from overseas, man, I had all the little brothers up there. Kevin and Kenyon, my brother, and Bobby Anson. I had them up in Drew. Started the football team. I told you,
Is that right?
me to read the flag football league.
What about right to keep practice?
So what?
We got to come closer. Yeah, there you go.
All right, here we go. And join the studio.
Get ready then,
So that's gonna stay put.
Yep.
nigga. What?
It looks phone.
Yeah, that's just for the live show. Somebody get to seeing us talking, they know it's live like a butter.
Go, bro. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, rolling.
Welcome back to Brown's Neighborhood. I got me a live one, my partner, Mr. Petey. Petey, what I do want you to tell me is your whole name.
My name is Christopher Irvin Wren. W-R as in reliable, E as in educated, N as in natural, N as in noble, AKA Petey, P-E-A-T-Y.
Yeah, but we finna get ready to learn about the life of Petey. Coming up from a young boy, coming up through the trenches. See, we're gonna talk about some of the ups and downs of life, but we see Petey right now at 72. Looking good, still go out there refereeing, and a lot of other little things. But we wanna learn about him because it's a lot to talk about. Petey, when did you move on the east side?
Well, I was born in Ardmore, Oklahoma in 1953, February 20th. Fourth of 5 children. Theophilus and Barbara Wren Sr. of Ardmore, Oklahoma. My father was born in Cheek, Oklahoma. My mother was born in a little town called Turl, Texas. Same place where Jamie Foxx was born.
So how did your mom and dad meet then?
My mother's family moved from Texas to Turl, Texas to Ardmore, Oklahoma back in the 40s.
Hold on one second. Where my headphones at?
Right there.
I need to. Hello? All right, Pete. How did they meet?
They met in Ardmore, Oklahoma. After my mother's family moved from Carroll, Texas to Ardmore, Oklahoma, and my father, his family moved from Cheek, Oklahoma to Ardmore, Oklahoma back in the 40s.
So were all your brothers and sisters born in Oklahoma?
All but my sister, second sister, Lanita, she was born in Salisbury, Maryland. When my father went to Maryland State, he was one of the first football players to go from a little school called Frederick Douglass High School in Ardmore. He got a scholarship to play football at Maryland State. It's now called Maryland Eastern Shore. It was Maryland State back in the 40s. She was born in 48. My oldest brother, Theophilus Wren Jr., Sonny, he was born in Ardmore. Gwinnett Twinkle, she was born in August 1st, 1951 in Ardmore. Then me, then Kenny. We moved to, from Ardmore, we moved to Phoenix, Arizona because my sister Gwinnett contracted pneumonia. The doctor told us she needed to go to a warm climate. So we moved to Ardmore, to Phoenix, Arizona on Buckeye Road. From there, we moved to Los Angeles, 8801 Mary Avenue.
So from there, y'all come on down here to California.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, how old were you when you got here?
4 years old.
You was 4 years old.
Kenyon had not yet been born.
Mm.
Our initial stop from Arizona
Sit
was
down, young bro.
92nd and Success. 92nd and Success, big apartment building, we lived there.
Okay. Okay.
Down the street from, at that time, Will Rogers Park.
Okay. Okay. Bro, you gotta sit down, dude. All that in and out like a kid, we ain't gonna have that. Alright. Okay. So now you went to Russell.
Yes, sir.
You went to Russell. I went to Russell too, man.
Okay.
So you did all 6 years at Russell. Or 7.
1958 to 1965, I was at Russell Elementary.
Anything special you learned at Russell?
Well, it was a thing I learned to be as far as, I came into my own at Russell, as far as my personality.
Explain that how you came into your own.
Well, I was always small for my age.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, I was a preemie.
Mm.
I was born 3 weeks ahead of time. See, I was supposed to be born in March. I was born in February. I was so small. I was 3 pounds. I could fit it. I had pictures of me in my grandfather's size 10 shoebox. That's how small I was.
Is that right?
Yes, yes. I was a premature. In all my life, I've been underestimated.
Have you?
So that's at Russell. I came into my own. The little kids at recess played on the Hooper side,
Mhm.
the little small area.
Yeah.
Then the big side was over there by Drew, the big fence. But at that time, it was Kittyland Carnival. We used to feed the horses over there from where the gym field is at.
Yes, sir.
That big tall fence.
Mhm.
We used to get hay and feed the little horses that was at the carnival. That's
Mm.
they had them out in pasture, so we would feed them.
So was Drew there yet?
No, Drew was not there. Drew didn't come along until 1963. I'm talking about 1959, 60, 61, 62.
Okay.
We feeding the horses. That was the thing to do, to feed the little ponies through the fence, where the gym is at, the gym field is
So what really made you feel that you was coming into your own even though you was a small guy? Was it through sports? What was it?
through sports. My thing was that basketball, baseball, football. I always competed with older guys because I felt at that time that, for lack of a better word, I was better than the smaller kid, my age. I wanted the competition of older guys.
Sean,
See where I
I can't
fit
hear that
in.
speaker, that microphone, Sean.
His microphone is rolling.
Mine is coming in and out. Okay. You got me?
Is it working?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So you was competing with the older guy.
All my life, I've competed with guys older than me.
Is that right?
Basketball, baseball, football. And that's what built my confidence up as far as me being small for my age. And in my own words, and a few other people's words, I could hang. I was hanging with them. They respected me because
in
of
the
my
fifth and
style.
sixth grade.
Fifth and sixth grade, yes,
So you started to get your confidence in elementary.
yes. That I can compete with people older than me that were underestimating me. So my whole idea, my thought process was that, hey, let them underestimate me and that'll make me better.
Okay, so now it's time to go to Drew.
Yes, sir.
You know the competition get real tough at the Drew.
Yes,
Not
it
the
does.
Drew V, Drew Junior High School.
Yes, sir.
Because now you finna meet tough guys.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
How did you maneuver to stay out of the game? How did you maneuver to stay out of them fights? And how did you maneuver to stay from getting your money taken?
Here's the deal. If you could play sports, you was all right.
You gotta pay.
You got to pass.
Wow.
Basketball, baseball, football, track. I was on the line. We wore the brown shirts. We had the Giants. Mr. Williams had the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin Kubo had the Lions. Phil Yanov had the red shirts, the Rams. The coach was coached by Jerry Case.
So
He had the
let me
coach.
say this, baby. Y'all had after school football way back then?
Basketball, baseball, football. We had it back then. And track. We had all four of them. That's what kept me on the straight and narrow. Sports.
One of the reasons I asked that because you 10 years ahead of me. And it was still there when I got there.
Cause Coach Williams was still there, remember?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coach Williams set all this up. Drew, you got to realize, Drew started and was opened in '63. He got the concept of all the different team names from Edison High School.
How you know
Coach
that?
Adam. He told me and Mr. Williams was like this back in the day.
Is that right?
Me and Coach Williams he was from Beggs, Oklahoma. He understood me. We understood each other.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Mr. Williams was like, and then came Hank Johnson.
Yep, yep.
The short, stocky Hank
Yes,
Johnson.
sir. Yes, sir.
He gave me a lot of respect. We gave each other a lot of respect. You see what I'm saying?
So through
Through
Drew,
sports.
you was able to survive through the world of sports.
I went to school with the Bishop brothers that was in the Bishops, the Kitchens, the Avenues. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at that time, you go to school and play sports with and against these guys, you build a reputation as far as, hey, he little, but he hanging with us.
You was getting it?
And that's what they appreciated about me.
Wow.
I was hanging with them.
So you,
See, it ain't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight and the dog.
so you had some fighting.
I was a little bulldog. I was a little Frenchie.
What, is that
I
right?
was a little Frenchie. I was scrappy.
What?
If I say so myself. And I wasn't scared of nobody. That's what they appreciated about me.
Right, right.
The little as I was the quarterback.
Is that
James
right?
Lowe was my wide receiver. E.C. Earl Carter was my halfback.
Wait a minute, man.
Pop Gilbert Poppy, he was my wide receiver. Carl Munns was my slot receiver.
Wait a minute. James Lowe?
James Flute Lowe was my wide receiver. To this day, I tell him, James, hey Lowe, I need a down, out, and up on him. Because we've been
Could he do it?
James Lowe could catch that football, baby.
Could he?
James Lowe could catch that ball.
Did he have
Poppy
any
could
speed?
catch that ball.
Did Lowe have
James, he didn't have no wings on his heels, but he could get away. He was crafty. I put it like that. He was maneuverable. You understand what I'm saying?
and you was quarterback?
I was a quarterback. And not bragging or nothing, I'm going by what Coach Williams told me. We was the only team that went 10-0 in football.
Wow.
Yes, sir. 10-0 in football. Anybody else went 10-0? I want to know. Let me know.
Well, I don't know nobody went 10-0.
We went 10-0.
So I-
The minors, you had minors and majors, right?
Right.
The minor division, major division. The minors, we went 10-0.
So tell me, did you graduate from Drew?
Oh, yes, sir.
So you
I'm
didn't
a,
graduate.
I'm a C average. I would, you know, hey man, I didn't apply myself. I just get along as far as education was concerned. But I had teachers tell me, you're smarter than what you have. You want to be the
So why
clown.
you didn't take advantage of that? And just
Just
go
be
on and be a smart kid.
Well, I can't speak for what I couldn't and didn't do and what, thinking back on it, hindsight 2020, yeah, I should have. But I was an average student, C plus to B student. I would get A. I knew these kids today not going to PE. I knew if I went to PA to get PE to get that A to build my,
Score up.
you know what I'm saying, to build my GPA up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I knew that's an A.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna get it?
That's an AEE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna build that D up to a C GPA.
Well, I gotta give you credit there because you know the system of how to build up your GPA.
I did that through high school.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you know,
You know what's the trip? You knew about it. I didn't know too much about, grade point average.
yes sir.
You
Yes.
knew about grade
2.0 is a C,
Yeah, but did you,
3.0 is a B, 4.0 is a A. I get it.
Christopher,
Yes sir.
did you know about it in high school?
Yes, I had older sisters and brothers that taught me that. Yes, I knew about GPA.
Okay.
Yes sir, this was ingrained in
Now that's kind of bad that now here I come along. I might have semi knew about it, but I didn't know the whole magnitude of if you get a good, GPA, it could take you to the next level.
Yes, yes,
I didn't know it on that level.
yes sir, yes. That's what it was all about.
So
Yes.
now you get from Drew. Now let me just ask a question because every young man when he become a teenager, he start looking at girls. Do you remember getting a girlfriend in junior high?
Well, here's my thing.
What's your thing?
I was too much into sports, to be honest with you. I wasn't
So
thinking
you
about
didn't
no
even
girl.
take a peek at her.
Oh, come on, yeah. Yes. Of course. But here's the thing.
What's the
I was
thing?
so into my sports that, later for the girls, later for the girls.
So let me ask you a question. Do you remember the first time you ever kissed a girl? Since you didn't want to kiss her in junior high,
See, I was gonna leave that out until you asked.
well,
When I was on Success back in 1957, I was seduced by a 7-year-old girl. To be honest with you, that was in the back of my mind as far as girls, but I ain't scared of girls, never have.
so how could a 7-year-old seduce you? How old were you? 4?
I was 4, and here's the deal. It was in the summer of 1957. We playing in the sun in July, hotter than July.
Or what is seducing at that age?
Come on, you wanna go with me? Let's get in this trunk.
The trunk?
Listen, are you listening? Let's get in this trunk. She gets in there, I gets in there. My sister Gwinnett, Twinkle, sits on top of the trunk. So I'm putting my pants down, she putting her little dress up. All of a sudden I heard somebody say, "What are you doing on that trunk? All these other little kids is playing and you sitting on that trunk sweating like you going to the electric chair." With my mama. She gets up, she said, "Nothing, mama." She gets up, and when she got up, I lit up, put her pants on, and running down Success Avenue. Well, at that time, we had little races and stuff, Petey Fad, Petey Gonzalez, woo, 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 woo. I'm running down Success towards the park, Will Rogers Park, it's Ted Watkins now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, pulled me up by the neck of my neck, and I'm still running. Like on the cartoon, my
Yeah.
mama caught me. She said, got me up to the house. She said, "Now you see this little thing, you keep this little thing in your pants, if it's gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell your daddy when he get home." Okay, my daddy get home. I'm sweating silver bullets, because I know my daddy gonna tie into me, right?
Right.
So my daddy gets home and said, "You need to talk to Christopher Irvin." I knew I was in trouble when they called me Christopher Irvin. Her or my dad. I was in trouble. Christopher Irvin.
Yes, sir.
So my daddy take me into the bedroom. He said, your mama told me you did something with a little girl. What you doing? Hold my head down. He said, you do anything? I said, no. He said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play like I'm whipping and you holler. So my daddy, okay, Theophilus, that's enough. Don't get that's enough. Okay, now this is the game me and my daddy ran. That night at the dinner table, we eating. So after everybody got through, my daddy said, was it good? I said, that's my boy. That's my boy. That's what my daddy said. So I ain't never been scared of women since I was 4 years old.
But
Just that
you
I
had-
put it in the back of my mind.
Okay, but from that time on to what age did you get a kiss after that encounter?
Oh, I don't want to drop. I ain't gonna drop this name. Her name started with an F at Drew. Now watch this.
You kissed a girl?
Watch this. Yes, sir. Watch this.
Mm.
You know where the music area is at that little back parking lot on 83rd and Compton. Going by that.
I know where it is.
Okay. Her name was F. I'm gonna, I ain't gonna say no name. 'Cause
Why?
really-
She still around?
She might be dead. I don't know, but I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. For the innocent, they ain't here to defend themselves. So, little F, little bitty, short, pretty little thing. So, it's lunchtime. We just talking. I'm talking. Then the bell rang to go to fifth period. Right?
Did you kiss her?
Watch this. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So watch this. Everybody's going towards us, go to class. So I look around. And I grab it. And we smooch. I'm all of 12 years old. 11 years old. That's
Can I
true.
ask you-
That's my first kiss.
Can I ask you a question? Was it a peck or was it a tongue?
I was in France. You know how the French do it?
All right.
I was in France.
Oh
We
yeah.
went to France.
So you was 12.
Tongue down her throat, tongue down mine. 12. Since you brought it up, I wasn't going to bring it up as far as my dalliances with the Pharisees.
Okay. So this is what I'm saying. Anytime after that, in Drew.
No.
So you was a one-hitter quitter on that kid.
Now, when we go get a free mind, now we're going to talk. At the mine.
Oh, down, you graduate from Drew, then you head to Fremont.
The mighty, mighty mine. Carlin Gray all the way.
Cardinal and Gray.
See here, we Southern League, baby. Washington, Jeff, you know what I'm saying? Man
Let me
Love,
ask you a question.
Washington.
Petey,
I got Man Love for all of them, yes sir.
did you make any team at Fremont?
I made Fremont, I made C, NB.
Yeah, that's
Now
fine.
watch this basketball. Now watch this. David, okay, the first basketball coach was Green, Gaston Green. Okay. Then Dave Yanai took his place. Dave Yanai. Used to watch the game sometimes, I practice and stuff, watch, to see who can recruit to come to the, JV of Boston.
Yeah.
And he always looked at me and he said, to be so little, you got a nice little shot, left hand. Got a nice little shot like the rotation on your ball. He liked it. He liked the way I brought the ball up. This was through Caldwell Black playing with Drew Ross. Caldwell Black taught me everything I knew about basketball.
Okay.
So, in my 12th grade, okay, C, then B, in 10th grade C, 11th grade B, he said, okay, it was a couple of guys that didn't, the grades was going on. This is when they implemented that you had to have a C plus, you had to have a C average to play ball, right? So two guys, the grades was like, so Coach Yanai said, you want to try out for the team. So he gave me a shot. Long story short, I made the team, but the guys came back. They got their grades up to snuff. But yeah, I made the team for a minute.
Did you graduate from Fremont?
Oh yes, I graduated with a C plus average. Proud of it.
No, we gotta be proud of that.
But if
Because
you
a lot,
want talk about the goody thing, I'll tell you something. Since you brought it up, it was a girl named S. I ain't gonna say her name too. It just started with an S. We was in class.
But how old were you?
I'm 15, 16 years old, 17.
Well, look here, man. Were you in the 10th grade
Was I in the 10th grade?
when whatever happened?
This was when I was in the 11th grade. Because like I said,
Okay, so in the 10th grade, nothing went down.
oh no. I was feeling my way through.
Feeling
See,
your way through.
I'm a scrub. See, back then you had A and B. I graduated from Drew on a Friday. That Monday, I was at Fremont because you had the winter. You had summer, class of summer, and you had class of winter. I graduated from Fremont in the winter, in January. You know, that Friday, like I said, that Friday I graduated, that Monday, whoa, I was a B10 scrub at Fremont.
10th grade.
In the 10th grade, B10, you had A, B, and A.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, nothing happened.
None of that. I'm feeling my way through the 10th
Feeling
grade.
your way.
11th grade, I met S. Bubble eyed
How
S.
did you meet her?
We just, our eyes just met, you know, we just, smiled.
So she had bubble
You know
eyes.
what I'm saying? That attracted me to
Did she have bubble eyes?
She had bubble eyes, sexy bubble eyes, them
So
the eyes.
whoever might know, you gonna know who it is. Cause
I don't care, we talking about 60 years ago, man. She probably, I mean, I hope she all right, but here's the
Okay, so you 16. You start seeing her.
Yes.
Did she become your girlfriend?
Yeah, yes, but watch this. We was in class together.
Okay.
And we would like look at each other and I do like this here. That meant to meet me out on the third floor. You know, Fremont got the first floor, second
What
floor,
you
the
doing
third
laying
floor.
up on the third?
We on the third, the class is on the third floor. Our
Oh,
classroom
okay,
was on the
I
third
thought
floor.
maybe you was on the second.
No, but watch this. That was the little signal for her to meet me out on the little stairwells.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Fremont is made, the stairwell?
Yeah.
So I said, teacher, can I go use the restroom? Go ahead. A few minutes later, teacher, may I go use the restroom? Mrs. S talking. Go ahead. So we meet. And I'm busting slobs, man.
Kiss.
Busting the slob.
Boy, you're finding yourself.
Yes, sir.
So, we gonna make this real quiet. When you was busting slob, did you get a little horn?
Come on, man. That's nature rise, man.
Man, yes or no,
Between
man?
her thighs make my nature rise. So now what? I'm just saying. Yeah, this Becker got a little apex on it.
Okay, so we can get about it, Fremont. Did you have sex while you was in high school?
That's for the young lady at Fremont.
What?
Not no ladies at Fremont.
Between the ages of 15 and 18, did you ever have sex?
Yes.
How old were you?
I was 16, she was 13. Here again, I ain't gonna name no names. Her name
How old
started
was
with a
she?
B. I was 16, she was 13.
Why you went all the way back down?
Because I digress, forgive me. Can a man digress?
I don't know, Petey. But you went all the way back down to the 8th grade.
To get back to where we are now. Not the 8th grade, this is listen, 16, I'm at Fremont.
Yeah.
She was at
13.
Regina Cheney.
Oh, she had Regina Cheney?
Yes,
It was a Catholic girl?
yes. See, I can't go too much farther now. I ain't gonna start
Listen,
naming no names now.
We ain't gonna claim no name. How did you convince her to do that?
She was faster than me. She convinced me. She was faster than me.
Golly!
I'm telling you, she was faster than me. Yeah. My mom and daddy worked during the daytime and
You went over.
like on Tuesday, I don't know from that day to this day, Tuesday you had what you call early outs. She had early out on Tuesday too.
Okay. Pete, you finally had sex. Do you think you did it or you might have did?
Let me
Because
put it to
sometimes
you.
you think you did.
Let me put it to you like this here.
What, man?
This was in the summertime. I thought we were just gonna, do, hoochie coochie, with our pants on, grinding, you know what I'm saying? Old girl started taking her clothes off in her bedroom, right?
Scared you.
Well, yeah, a little bit though. I had a little palpitation, but I said, okay, when in Rome, I'm gonna do like the Romans do. So I started thinking, no. When in Rome, do like the Romans do. So, yeah, we started. And
Do you remember?
all of a sudden, watch this.
Do you remember?
You won't let me finish. I'm getting to that.
Okay, you sure be taking a long time.
Okay, dang, it's getting good in the back of my mind. All of a sudden, I jumped up because I never, did that part of it. It was always, And I jumped up, put my clothes on. She said, "What you doing?" I ain't said nothing. Just put my clothes on. I was scared because it was the first time it came out, right?
Right.
So I sat there, I was still shooting, putting my clothes on. So I'm running down, let's see, 81st in Compton Avenue.
Yeah.
This is the summertime, right? I'm running. I'm scared. Thing all sick. The guys can see
What?
they playing foot. My thing was sick.
Why is it sick?
It was puking.
And you didn't know why.
You know what I'm saying? The first time it ever did that on me, right? And it scared me. So they playing football in the middle of the street.
Right.
I could hear him say, "I got Petey. I'm late. I got Petey." I ran by him to get to the house. That's how scared I was, right?
Right.
They look, "Where you going, man? Where you going?" I ran into the house, took my clothes off, took a bath, shipped. When it came out, I said, "Man, what's the matter with you, man?" I said, "Man, I'll talk to you about this some other time." That's how much it scared me.
Wow. Wow. Now that was a life experience.
Oh yeah, it was a culture shock.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It was a culture
Wow.
shock.
You were shocked. She what?
Told her she was faster than me.
Wow.
Caught her up at Roosevelt Park in the swimming pool. She was thick and all like that there. Them kind of women to this day, yeah.
It's dangerous. Oh, is that right?
I'm just saying, I can say, see how,
She woke you up.
yeah, I'll put it like that.
Yeah, she woke you up. So now you get ready to get out of high school. What were you gonna do now, Petey? You
Okay.
finna get out of high school. You went to college?
Yes, I did.
Where you went to college, man?
First, when I graduated, I went to Harvard JC.
Why you went all the way to Harvard? Southwest wasn't no?
Let me see, 60, 71. Southwest had just opened up at like 69.
How you was getting way down there to Harvard?
My daddy bought me a car.
Oh.
Said, "You graduated, I'm gonna buy you a car." So he bought me a car. He bought me in 71, he bought me a 69 Datsun B210.
B2C.
Stick shift.
Yep.
I got my driver license. I got my driver license in a red 63 Volkswagen. My brother-in-law and my sister had a 63 Volkswagen. That's how I got my driving license, driving stick. I'm a stick man.
Oh, you can roll.
I'm a stick man.
What? So you went to Harvard?
I went to Harvard for a year. See, I'm still trying to find myself.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
We all.
So from 71 to 72, I went to Harvard.
Right.
I was a Seahawk. Then I dropped out of that. My mother and father, they found out a rude awakening. Your grades come in the mail and stuff. And it said, discontinued. And my mother and father looked at me and said, "Chris," especially my dad, you ain't been going to classes? I was embarrassed. I said, "No, Dad." "Okay, all right. What you gonna do?" Okay, I went to work for WLCAC.
And working for WLCAC was dangerous, bruh.
Didn't matter.
You still went?
I was a counselor. You know how the kids clean up at that time clean up the vacant houses and lots and stuff, and
Yeah.
alleys. Well, at that time, I had a crew of like 7 kids, 7, 8-year-old kids, and
They didn't have
clean
no
up.
gang stuff going on there?
Oh yeah, of course, but WLC, for some reason, we didn't worry about that at WLCAC at that time. We talking about the early 70s. It didn't blossom into like it is now. Come on now, it wasn't that.
Okay, I'm just
no,
saying.
I'm just saying, where you from and all like. No, I wasn't like that. I wouldn't change.
Not yet.
No, not yet. I wouldn't change my upbringing for the guys of today. No way. No, we didn't have to worry about that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It hadn't gotten to that. You see what I'm saying? So from there, my brother-in-law's father, John Wesley Turner III, God rest his soul, worked at Long Beach Shipyard, Long Beach Naval Shipyard.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a program where young people could work, on the ships in dry dock. So he got me a job there.
Is that right?
Man, I was making a grip, man. Cleaning out them the oil tankers,
Well, what you was doing with all this money?
Well, having a good time.
What you call that?
I get my money and I buy my clothes, get my mom and daddy they little issues.
That's right.
They were teaching me the responsibility. Now,
Yes, sir.
son, you got a job now, you're gonna have to help. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay, Dad, chip him off. He said, now, start your little bank account. He showed me how to do that. And yeah.
How
So
long
some of
did you
them
stay
went.
down there at that shipyard?
I stayed down there for a year from 73 to early 74, the summer.
Well, why did you leave?
Well, the program was over.
Oh, it was a
It was a summer.
temporary
It was a summer job.
So now all that's over. What is Petey gonna do now?
Well, I liked the Navy. I liked the pop out of Sailor Man. I liked the uniforms they was wearing because the ship I was on, they would have their little drills and stuff. And I said, okay, it fascinated me.
Hold on. You went to the military.
The Navy.
Why did you pick the Navy?
To be honest with you, I was lost and turned out as far as drugs. PCP.
Is that right?
Yes. I was smoking weed. I was smoking Sherm. Back then, no, not Sherm. Angel dust.
I'm glad you said that.
Angel dust.
Because I had a guy on here named
Get dusty.
Yeah, guy on here named Jimmy Lavender, and he was smoking angel dust. Most people don't know about angel dust. Some of them never even heard of it.
Dust in the brain will drive you insane. Look like little toothpicks. The little bitty joints look like little toothpicks.
So who introduced it to you?
Well, I'm not gonna get into no names. The guys I hung with. See, I'm real sensitive of putting people out in people.
Well, I don't
See what I'm
want you
saying?
to put
I'm
your
not
name
gonna
out
out
there.
nobody.
So
The
what-
guys that I hung with.
Okay. So now, at what age did this happen?
I first tried angel dust at Fremont.
At the mine?
At the mine. Listen here, it was 18 years old. It was summertime, right?
Right.
So we kicking it in a little circle, and by the baseball field, the baseball field at Fremont,
Mm-hmm.
we don't like in the outfield, right?
Mhm.
A little circle. So somebody broke out a little toothpick. I said, man, what is this?
A toothpick.
The angel dust look like a little toothpick. That's
It
how
didn't
small.
look like weed.
In the little wheat, remember they had wheat papers, white papers and wheat papers, the yellow papers.
Yeah.
I said, man, what is that, man? He said, this is angel dust. Go and take a hit. So I hit it. I said, this is the little thing. I took a big old draw
Why you took such a big one?
because I didn't know that it was so small. And I'm used to smoking, little baby,
Joints.
you know what I'm saying, looking like a little baby thing.
Yeah.
And this little bitty thing, I said, no.
You gonna take
And I hit it.
Yeah.
Didn't nothing happen. So the bell rang to go back to class, but we had the tryouts for the graduation. We getting ready to graduate.
Oh.
You partner of mine, we getting ready to go have the ceremony, you know, to practice the you know, the
Right.
graduate.
Yeah.
So I gets up, it's hot, you know, them chemicals, I didn't know back then, them chemicals mixed with that hot sun. I stood up, and I'm like I was walking backwards. And everybody looked like Jiminy Cricket. You know how Jimmy Cricket had that big face and stuff? Like I was in a cartoon, man. And they're like, man, what's wrong with you, man? Where y'all going, man? Wait, hold up. I was gone, man. I was dusted. Back then, I did not know that I was dusted.
Right. Right.
That was my first encounter with angel dust, man.
So,
like I said, Sherman, Lovely, and all that other stuff hadn't came out yet.
Right. Right.
Dipping it in all that.
Right. So this is the question. You tried it that one time.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what it would do to you.
Yeah.
Did you try it again?
Being hard-headed, being, you know, sitting in. Yes, yeah. That's just like an alcoholic. When you get drunk, why you do it again?
The second time, was it the same effect?
No, wasn't the same effect. I'm like, you know, I'm becoming experienced now. You know, I know how to deal with it. So you just kick back and just deal with it. You know, don't let it run you. Okay. Yeah.
And so it happened that once, it happened again. So now it's the end thing.
But here's the thing, here's the kicker.
What's the kick?
To get away from that, I said, man, I started to feeling like I wanted to get, back then you got a 2-hitter quitter. You heard of that?
You wanted to get naked.
Nothing. And climb a telephone pole and jump down in an empty glass of water. I said, no, it's time for me to stop this. No.
That's what your mind was
That's what
saying.
my mind was saying.
Get naked.
Get naked, climb a telephone pole, and jump down in an empty glass of water. I said, oh, no. I gotta get off. I gotta get off of this here. So the way I got off of that, here comes the Navy.
But how did you get introduced to the Navy?
Well, I got introduced, you know,
Somebody
join the
told you?
Navy, see the world. You know, the commercials.
So you just seen it from the TV.
Join the Navy, see the world. Okay, all right. I wanted to get as far away from the United States and these drugs as I could. So I went in the Navy.
So where did you go to sign up at?
I went to, they had the little booth right there in Vermont. They had it, I don't know if it's still there, that little area right there on Vermont, the place where you go sign in.
And you walked in there.
I walked in there.
Nobody told you.
No. Charles Daniel was gonna go with me. Remember Charles Daniel on John Avenue? Me and him was gonna go together. He got cold feet. I said, man, I'm to myself, I'm with this. I wanna get the hell away from here before I kill myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's why I went in the Navy.
So you went in.
I goes in, and hey man, the Navy helped make me, all my father didn't teach me the Navy.
Taught you.
Navy made a man out of me.
Did you do your 4 years?
Here's the deal. Yes, sir. Here's the deal. When I got out of boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
they asked, do anybody want to volunteer to go on this ship in Sasebo, Japan? I volunteered. So that's because I wanted to get away from the United States and as far away from drugs as I could.
Right.
I'm 21 years old.
Okay.
2 weeks later,
That took a man though.
they made a man out of me. 2 weeks later, I'm in Sasebo, Japan. On the USS White Plains, AFS 4.
You wasn't scared?
Yeah, I was scared, but hey, I gotta be a man now. Mom and daddy can't help me now.
Right on, right
You know what I'm
on.
saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, he made a man out of me, man.
Yeah.
Anybody doing what they
You
feel
know-
like they don't wanna do,
You know
Get
why,
away from it all.
You know why I say that? I thought I was tough, right? But I had some friends that they wasn't as tough as me.
uh-huh.
But them suckers went into the military. I was like, man, I am not going in that military. Because I just couldn't, I wasn't ready to go into Germany and all of that stuff, you know?
Well, see, during my time when Vietnam was still going on, I volunteered. This is how much I wanted to get away from the United States and drugs. Let me get away from here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, Mr. Brown, I don't have no regrets
Yes, sir.
that I made that move. Matter of fact, I'm glad I made that move.
And the thing is, and I'm glad you're speaking on it, because somebody needs to hear this that may be scared to go to the military. And they need to say, hey, I don't have no other option to stop what I'm doing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they do have you can benefit from the military.
To this day, 50 years later, I'm reaping the benefits. I'm 100%. I get 100%.
Go to
Uncle
the
Sam, Uncle Sam is taking care of me right now to this day,
Mm.
what I did 50 years ago.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? Now, I don't have no regrets, Mr.
You
Brown.
made a good move.
The best move that I made.
Yeah. Just let another young man could always hear something, or somebody that could hear it and tell a young man, don't look at it as a bad thing. Because see, a lot of times people look at it as bad when it could be a blessing.
Here's the thing. It was a blessing in disguise. Here's the thing. If a person feel like they have no way out of whatever situation it is, drugs, alcohol, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
get away. My advice is to get away from that situation. Clear your head.
Right.
That's what the Navy did. That's what going to Japan did. It helped me clear myself away from what I was doing.
Right.
It gave me the discipline. You see what I'm saying? But here's the kicker.
What's the
I
kid?
gets over there,
It's drugs.
and it's there. Buddha Thai. Huh?
Yeah.
We from the Philippines, we from Korea, we from Japan. Like I said, Buddha Thai,
Mm-hmm.
with the string on it, the weed with the string on it.
Tell me about it.
And then the hashish, you put the hashish all on the paper,
Man.
roll it up. I was higher than a Hindu, man.
But it was a different high.
But it's a different high. But here's again.
Yeah.
It was a more controlled high as far as like not hallucinating off angel dust. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But it's a form of getting along. And then, you know, hey, it didn't keep me from doing what I had to do militarily.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But my thing was this here, Mr. Brown. I became a bosun mate. That's like a custodian on the ship.
Yes, sir.
You take care of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw these guys wearing these white jackets, like smocks, like, you know, you wear in the hospital or a dental office. I said, what is that, man? What grade are you? He said, I'm a dental technician. I said, okay, that sounds like something to do. So I applied to become a dental technician. Watch this. Oh, you don't have the schooling. They looking at my records. Oh, you don't have the schooling to become a dental tech. That busted my bubble, man. So I had to go back to being a bosun mate.
Right.
And I said, okay, y'all won't let me be a bosun mate. You can play on the football team, the Seahawks, on the base football team. 6 months out of the year, you can play football, get paid to play football. I said, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Play football. I got a check, wrote it out. Can I have permission to play football? Oh yeah. The captain of the ship, Captain John E. Arnold, J.E. Arnold, he signed the check for me to go play. 6 months out of the year, I was playing football and getting paid just to play football. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have got a dishonorable discharge because I didn't take nothing from nobody, especially from my Caucasian inmates.
Right. So sports bless you again.
Definitely. I got an honorable discharge by way of playing 3 years football, being off of that ship, the USS White Plains, for 6 months out of the year. Actually 8 months because every year we made the playoffs. So I was off 8 months. I played football and didn't do nothing but just play football. Practice and play football. The ship would be all out
Is
there.
that right?
I got paid to play football. Proud to say.
No, that's God.
That helped me get through the Navy because if it wasn't for that, being on that ship, I got into too many fights. As it turned out, I made rank, but I couldn't get away from them girls on Liberty. As far as
Wait a
coming
minute,
back at
wait a
6 in the
minute.
morning and get busted back down. Take my stripes from me. See, Marine, you can't make it on to muster at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Why was you having problems with that? You met girls in Japan?
And Philippines and Korea and China and Australia and
So you were sleeping with other girls that was from the state of the Philippines and all of that?
yes, 21, 22 years old. Didn't know how to get up at 5 and to be back on the ship at 6.
You stayed laying there?
Beg pardon?
You just stayed laying in bed?
Well, yeah, but watch this. I always made it on the ship, but I would be late. So therefore, see, Marine, why are you late? I told him I overslept. They didn't have to tell me that because I was in bed with a woman. Well, that ain't their business. I overslept.
Overslept.
Take it straight. I wound up getting an honorable discharge from the Navy, but I was busted down as seaman. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know that type of discipline I couldn't overcome the women. I'm gonna be honest with you.
The women had you.
And pretty little Philippine girls, and pretty little Japanese girls, and pretty little Korean girls.
Mess your
I
mind.
mean, yeah. You know,
Mess your
hey,
mind.
as I'm 72 years old, and I look back 52 years ago, 50 years ago, yes.
Mess your mind.
But it wasn't to the point where I got honorable discharge. I got my
Honor.
honorable discharge.
So let's say this here. You went into the military, it taught you some things.
Taught me how to be a man.
Now this is the big thing here. Now you gotta come back home and deal with this world again. When you stepped off that ship, got back here, what was Petey gonna do now?
Here again, I'm 25 years old.
Yes, sir.
I'm still not really knowing what I wanted to do, to be honest with you.
Right.
See, to thine own self be true. I still didn't know. I went, okay, GI Bill, okay, I went to Trade Tech, just to get a trade, right? I went to Trade Tech, straight out of the military, okay. Still not knowing what I wanted to do. To be honest with you, I did not know what I wanted to do.
No, you ain't by yourself, bro. There's a lot of people today don't know what they want to do. But by me talking to you today, we're going to find out you did do something.
Oh, yes.
So, you went to Trade Tech. What did you take up in Trade Tech?
I took up general courses, trying to find out what my major was going to be. And again, like I said, I'm bouncing around. I'm not really knowing what I want to do. I went there for a year, dropped out. Went to trade Southwest. I went to Southwest for a year.
How long did you stay over at Trade Tech?
I stayed there for a year.
1 year. Then you went to South.
Then I went to Southwest. Here again, I'm bouncing around.
I know it. This is the life of Petey Rand.
I'm telling you, unscripted.
You understand?
Unscripted.
So people need to know how things happen, but don't give up on yourself.
Huh? That's what I'm getting. This is what I'm coming to.
Yes, sir.
I had to go through all these things to come to be where I am today.
Yes, sir.
And the whole thing behind it is stick-to-itiveness. Intestinal fortitude. Don't give up. My daddy shooting in my ear, son, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Daddy got confidence in me. You see what I'm saying? Okay, now, from trade tech.
Watch that wild, bro. All right.
Just like I get out in 77, 79, guys in the neighborhood, oh man, they hiring at Metropolitan State Hospital in Norwalk, the crazy house. Excuse me for that term, but that's what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Melvin Childers, Charles Daniel, we fill out the application. I said, they ain't gonna call me, so let me fill it out anyway. 2 weeks later, they called me. I got hired. Temporary, yeah, states. I'm working for the state now, right?
Yeah.
As a housekeeper. You know, I said, okay.
Did you
So-
have to put anything like the military on your application?
Every job I had, I was proud to say I'm a veteran.
Right.
That's, you get 10 points more on an application, you put down a veteran.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm proud to put down that I was a Naval veteran. Yes, sir. To this day, I'm still proud of that. It got me through a lot of doors.
So P.D. Ring, all that's going on. When did you start refereeing at the Truth?
Oh, man. Long story short, I'm 12 years old in 1966. I kept telling Coach Caldwell Black that, hey, I want to be a referee. Okay. At that time, he had his little
What made you say you want to be a referee?
watching the NBA and watching Mindy Rudolph, watching the referee and stuff, and I said, man, I can do that. I already know the game, I already know how to play it. So I always had this little thing in me that to be a referee. Caldwell saw that in me and he brought it out in me. He introduced me to Sonny Robinson, and Joe Wormley, and Deke Jordan. They were my mentors, referee mentors. And first game I ever refereed was at Jordan High School faculty versus the Los Angeles Rams. The charity game.
How did you get introduced?
I'm telling you, get into that. Caldwell Black introduced me to officiating.
Okay.
He got me started into it. I used to referee sometimes the frat league games at Drew.
So you just went to a game and ref?
Caldwell said, you want to be a referee, right?
Right.
Come on, come go with me.
Mm-hmm.
Picked me up, took me over to Jordan High School. And I'm looking at all these people. It's a charity game. He said, here's your shirt. Put the shirt on. I'm getting ready to referee a game with Sonny Robinson. He said, Caldwell said, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. Through the door come Deacon Jones, Merlin Olsen,
What?
Roman Gabriel, Dick Bass, Clancy Williams, guys I seen on TV playing for the Rams. I got starstruck. My eyes got like a deer in the headlight. Caldwell warming up, he playing with the faculty, right? Caldwell said, you all right, boy? I said, yeah. I'm nervous, he's shaking. But no, I'm getting to it.
Right.
I call the game, I'm messing up. No, listen, this is fortitude, I'm telling you. Stick to itiveness. Okay? Caldwell said, leave him alone. He called a timeout. I said, leave him alone. Man, this boy 13 years old. He's trying to learn how to do this. Y'all leave him alone. At least he got the heart to do it. Because Deacon Jones and Merlin Olsen, I'm messing up.
Right.
I'm messing up. But after Caldwell talked to him and told him, leave him alone, man. He's a young little boy. He wants to be a referee. Leave him alone. Right after that, I settled down. And after the game, they shook my hand and all that. You know what I'm saying? And that gave me the confidence to keep going.
Wow.
Even though I messed up.
Wow.
Caldwell said, "You still want to be a ref?" I said, "Yep." He said, "Okay, next week, come to the frat games, start refereeing." And I built my confidence. Built my confidence.
Hmm.
Yeah. Been refereeing since 1966, basketball. Been refereeing football since the 90s. Dino Smiley helped me get with football refereeing.
How did you do that?
He was he had connections with, at that time Dino was working at Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Dino used to coach his rendition of the Drew Roy young guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Dino said, "Hey man, you play football? You want to be a referee? We need refs for these leagues, man, these junior high school leagues." I said, "Okay, no problem." Get me a shirt, buy me a shirt and stuff, and Dino, "Okay, I need you to go to Louis Pasteur Junior High School." Pasteur?
Mm-hmm.
So I get over there and start refereeing since '93. I've been refereeing football.
Mm.
Baseball, I've been refereeing for like since 10 years with Jerome Johnson. He got a league of middle school kids in the South Bay. Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach. And I do games, I umpire baseball for him.
Okay, so check this out. You get on there, you went through the military, you done all those things. Today, you refereeing what kind of games?
Okay, I do AAU baseball,
This is the one
high
thing
school
I
age
want.
baseball.
This is what I want to know. Did you have to go through any training?
Yes, I've had schooling, yes.
So
I've taken tests.
Who told you where to go for training?
Here again, Dino is a big proponent. He's a big help for me. Introducing me to people like David Gillis of SMAF, Southern California Federation Athletic Association, SMAF. And take tests with them. This is baseball and basketball. They have basketball, baseball.
And how old were you when you doing this?
Oh man, I'm in my 30s.
You're in your 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, wait a minute, we ain't gonna jump. So now you get out of the military, you working at Metropolitan, other things going on in life.
Yes, sir.
There are other bumps in the road.
Yes, sir.
So how did those bumps come about?
Here's the deal. In '83, okay, Julie started '73. I refereed from '70. Won the first championship with the Hornets in '73. Alvin Will, Julie. The next year I said, okay, I want to be the referee. From '74 to '82, I helped Alvin with that. Now, '82, I got introduced into the world of not crack cocaine, but freebasing cocaine.
1983.
Yes, I was 30 years old.
Who introduced you to that?
Well, a young lady that I was going with, again, I don't name names, but she introduced me to it. People that.
So she was already doing it.
Yes.
And you was talking to her with your girlfriend.
Yeah, with my girlfriend.
So hold on. It's your girlfriend. That's why people gotta always remember, when you get a boyfriend, girlfriend, or somebody a close friend, and they already involved in something, now they finna introduce you to it.
Right.
So this is your girlfriend. She already know when she share with you, you finna be hooked too. I mean, it is, you know.
It is what it is, but here's the deal.
Okay?
Did nobody force me.
No, it's not a forcing thing. You know, it's just that was a girlfriend.
Being experimental. Experimenting with stuff. It's like I
But
experimented.
was you already having sex with her?
Oh, yes, that was my girl.
So that makes it even easier. I'm already intimate with you. So now I'm gonna introduce something new to you. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Her people was into it, and yeah.
Yeah.
She in a
So
good.
now you start trying.
Yes, experimenting with it.
Right.
One thing led
And
to
how
another.
long did y'all stay together?
We stayed together off and on for shit. From I met her in '79, hell to 90, 95, 96.
So y'all
Off and on.
Going together, breaking up.
Yeah, going together, breaking up. Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't no commitment or nothing like that. I'm gonna marry you. We was just.
So how long did you stay on this freebasing?
Here's the deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
From '83 to '93. Now don't make it seem now. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that hey, every day. No, I was a functional addict.
All right.
I still could hold down the job and then do my thing after work. On the weekends, I'd splurge. But I was what you call a functional addict.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? There's
Right.
a lot of functional addicts out there.
You have to be a very strong man.
Well, you have to.
Now, listen to me. Now, I wasn't a youth, but I got a whole lot of sense. To be a functional addict takes a very strong man. Because if you ain't functional, that means you dysfunction.
Right.
And you can't maintain a job, you
Right.
can't maintain nothing.
Well, I was able to maintain a job
You was a strong man.
to feed that monkey on my back.
Right.
I kept
But
a
you
job.
knew when it's time to go to sleep,
It's time to go to sleep, to give it up.
when you
No
got
ways.
off, I'm gonna do a little bit of this before I go to bed or whatever.
And then I got to get up in the morning.
That's called
Functional. I was a functional addict.
That takes strength.
And I'm not bragging, I'm just saying
No,
that's what I was.
that ain't nothing to brag about.
That's what
But
I
I'm
was.
telling you from just looking at it on the other side,
Yes, sir.
you have to be strong to do that.
Well, I was a functional addict.
And a strong one.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
because if you're not strong, bro, you're not gonna do it. You got people that ain't even an addict and got a job and got friends. They'll be hanging out with their friends that they don't even want to go to work.
Yeah, that's true.
Get fired because they late from hanging out with their friends.
Right. I knew when to say when, man, because I got a responsibility.
So so you did that for 10 years. What made you stop?
Here's the deal. I didn't stop. Here's the deal. Okay,
You were still refereeing?
Yes. Yes, I was.
You had went to training and everything?
Yes, here's the deal. Here again, I'm a functional addict. I knew when to stop. I knew when to say when. I got a responsibility. I got to do this. I got to be here at this time. I got to be here at that time. But the whole basis behind not getting high was that I got to keep going to feed this monkey on my back. That was my whole thing. Keeping a job so I could pay for my monkey that was on my back. See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's the deal on that. From 83 to about 93, the rum and coke and I freebase.
Right.
Then when that got too expensive or I got tired of that, and I saw they started going to with the pipe and all that, and the little metal stuff, I said, no. I always had weed on the side. That was what kept me from overindulging the weed. I said, okay, when I run out of the yayo, well, I got the weed to kick back. That'll mellow me out.
Right.
I always had the reefer to mellow me out.
So this is the
So I
question,
wouldn't trip off of the yayo.
because I need to know this. Dino gave you a connection
Yes, I'm very thankful.
to get training for refereeing.
Yes.
If a kid wanted to go for training today, is it a possibility?
Of course it is. And I can give him that information. Yes. Of course. Basketball, baseball, football. I can give him that information.
Well, we want to be able, because see, a lot of kids, they can do that, you know what I'm saying? They may can't work in an office, they may can't do that, but they may have enough fortitude to go and get trained past that training. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To coach high school,
Yes.
college, park ball,
Right, rec ball, yes.
and make a living.
Yes.
Because they're gonna have to learn something today that a robot can't do.
Of course. Yes, that's
A
right.
robot can't get out there and call no game. They may come up with it later, but it ain't gonna be no time soon. You know what I'm saying? So thank Dino for putting on that path to say,
Oh, of
hey,
course,
you
yes.
know. So Dino,
My hat is off to it.
yeah. So
That's my man.
Dino played a big part in your life,
Yes, in my sporting life, yes.
and Caldwell Black.
And Alvin Will, and Kenny Carey, and Tommy Bates. You know, I can go on and on and on.
So these guys played a big part in Petey's life.
Yes, as far as letting me know where I can go to do games.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Wills, Kenny Curry, KC out of Gompers High School, Tommy Bates.
KC.
They would find out different leagues, say, man, they need some referees over here. Word of mouth. I go over there, and then the rest is up to me. They see I can do it, so okay, all right.
Well,
You got the
one
job.
other thing I want to be able to put out for young men. Learn how to go, young men and women,
And women, yes,
to go and find out how to get a job for park and recreation.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? Because they need it. Sometimes people know people that can help them get in.
a lot of times it ain't what you know, it's who you know.
You know.
It's true, yes,
But find out about it. Park and rec.
yes.
Man, it can sustain them.
You got city parks and recs, you got LA County parks and rec.
Yeah, yeah,
I can help them with the LA County part, but I don't do city part.
right,
You know, I was up at St. Andrew, that's city.
right,
I've
right.
never really been a part of the city
Park and rec.
parks and rec, LA County, because I'm RBI, reviving baseball in the inner city with the Dodger organization. That's where I do baseball.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, I can help people down that avenue.
So now, Mr. Pete, Randy, when did you finally kick the habit?
Here's the deal. This is my ordeal. This is my testimony. I don't preach, I testify. Here's my deal. From 83 to 93, I freebased. From 93, it's like off and on. I would take a month off just to test myself. I did a whole year at one time and relapse. You see what I'm saying? But the whole thing was that in my 30s, in my 40s, I'm still refereeing. It hadn't gotten to me to that point yet. And then all of a sudden, like, I say 93. Yeah, 93. Yeah, I was 30. That's when it kind of hit me with Dino in the Drew League. I messed up. I got high the night before, and I called myself going to referee a game, and I was just
Messing
all over
up.
the place. I don't mind saying it because it's a part of my testimony.
Yes, sir.
They laughed me out the jail. I felt bad. But what did I do? I escaped. I went back in even more so into my addiction. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I didn't referee anything from like 95 to 2000. 20 years, man. I'm off and on. I'm still, I'm still working and getting, doing my
From
thing.
95 to 215?
214. Wait, no, 213.
13.
Something hit me. I was going to my daughter's house in Palmdale. I got high that night before.
Right.
I get on the Union Station bus to go to Palmdale. The ticket say July 21st. I said, that's my deceased mother's birthday. So when I get back, I'm throwing everything away. I got back home. That weekend I spent with my grandkids and stuff. I got back home. I threw yayo away. I threw weed away. And ain't touched it since.
Wow.
I got 2 birthdays I celebrate. My mother's birthday, July 21st, and my sobriety birthday. And I ain't looked back since.
Wow.
through God and my will or want to. If anybody want to stop doing anything, you have to want to. I want to stay off of this stuff. And God is helping me.
Yes, sir.
I don't knock nobody that go to AA, NA, and none of them A's. I don't need it. I need God and the will to want to. My will to not want to go back to the life that I was living, and God.
Wow.
These are the two
All
things
right.
that's keeping me on the straight and narrow. And seeing my high now is watching other people get high.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? That's my high now. I get high on air pudding.
Mm.
But the whole thing is that even when I was getting high, I said, man, I'm not going to be. I see guys 60, 70 years old, 75 years old, still messing around with this stuff. I said, no, I'm going to be like that. Even in my youth. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that.
Right. Right.
This is when I was 60 years old in 2013.
Mm.
They took a Spartans, my mama's birthday. That's my
Look at that ticket.
That's my ticket. I'm leaving this alone. I'm gonna celebrate mama's birthday and my sobriety birthday.
So when did you get into golfing?
Oh man, golfing, man, that's woo. Me and my little brother Kenyon, I got into golfing about 5 years ago.
5 years.
I always knew about Maggie's golf course right there in back of Jesse Owens.
Mhm.
It used to be Sportsman's Park.
Mhm.
There's a little 3-hole, 9-hole golf course.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me try this.
Right.
Friend of mine, little partner here, he said, man, you off in the golf? I said, yeah. You need some golf clubs? I said, yeah. Here again, I ain't gonna name no name because he got the clubs off his deceased, his cousin is deceased now. He said, I said, they gotta be left-handed, man, because I'm left-handed. Sure enough, they was left-handed. I bought them from him. I bought the clubs from him, 14 clubs, you know.
How much you pay for it?
$50.
Wow.
And that's
So
$3,000 worth of.
Wow.
It's expensive to play golf, man.
Wow.
Them clubs don't come cheap. Them clubs don't come cheap,
So
man.
if a guy wanted you to teach him how to play, could you teach somebody today?
I can teach them the rudiments, the basic rudiments of golfing, yes, because I'm an athlete, number one. And what that entails, teach an athlete the rules and regulation of a game,
Mm-hmm.
and get back and let him do his thing. He'll figure it out the rest of the way because he's an athlete.
Right.
See, the basic premise of golfing, boom, baseball, boom. The only thing with golf, you're getting it off the ground. Baseball, you're getting it coming in. But it's the same principle. As far as swinging, see ball, hit ball. See golf ball, hit golf ball. You see what I'm saying? Stay down and hit up. Yeah, I can teach the basic fundamentals of golf. Yes, I can do that. Yes.
So now, after you got
That's my
off
livelihood.
work, how has life been since that happened?
Oh man. I'm back in the church. I'm staying in the word. And staying grounded as far as my sports because I'm not working anymore. I draw 2 pensions, baby. I get a pension from the military and I get a pension from SSD, from my job. I'm lifetime medical.
Right.
LA County Office of Education, LACO,
Mm.
and Uncle Sam. It affords me the opportunity to, all I do is play. Well, I don't golf per se, I go to the putting range, I putt.
Mhm.
See, you drive for show and you putt for dough. So that way then when I get back on there, on that golf course, my back will permit me to torque and hit the ball 200 and 300 yards. Then I got it down as far as like, I'm putting for dough now, baby. That's what I do now. I putt around. I go to the different putting greens. I go to Alondra Park, Alondra Golf Course. I go to Chester, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? I've been down to Westchester. I've been down to They don't have Compton there. I used to go to Compton, 9-hole golf course right there on Compton Boulevard by Dominguez High School.
Right.
But that's my thing now, man. That's my
Well,
hobby.
one thing I do know, I know you support the kids.
Ooh, yes.
I was out at a young man's baseball game, Kevin Thompson's grandson.
I remember I saw you there.
Yeah.
Ladera Park, who's that little Ladera, and that's when I kind of, got back in with you as far as I hadn't seen you in a minute.
Right.
And I said, yeah, we chopped it up for a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But if it wasn't for the kids and me being involved with the kids, Mr. Brown, I don't know what I'd do because they what keeps me going. See, when I'm umpiring baseball, when I'm refereeing football, when I'm refereeing basketball, I'm around the youth. That keeps me young and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps me going. Like I said, I don't know what I would do if all of a sudden I can't ref no more.
Right, right.
Yeah, I know what I would do. I would get to their games and just kick back
Watch.
and watch.
Yeah, no,
And
some.
recruit my youth, my days of my youth.
Yeah.
And then when I go to games right now today, football games, Rams games, Dodger games, I'm watching the referees, I'm watching the umpires to see how they do.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't look at it as a fan, I look at it as from the umpires, the referee's point of view.
Right.
That helps me. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? The rules and all that. I look at it from an official point. Even when I'm watching games at home on the TV, I'm not watching it from a fan's point of view. I'm watching the referees. I'm watching to see what they do. The rules and what, you see what I'm saying? Because those rules help me with my rules when I'm refereeing.
Well, I can say one thing, Pete. God has covered you, man.
I'm close
Through all of that,
Yes. Yes.
He has covered you.
I'm in His mercy.
You know,
Mercy, grace, and love. That's what I'm going on.
you know.
Yes.
Because for 72, you're still getting around damn good.
Yes. Thank you.
You still look good.
Thank you, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
I'm a man that can tell another man he looks good if he, taking care of himself and doing well.
And I'm the same way too.
Yeah, I ain't got a problem with that, because it's about being honest about
Yes, sir. Yes,
it.
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And even today now, seeing you and everything, I got high respect for you.
I appreciate that.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
appreciate that. And like I said, I got respect for you too. It's reciprocal.
Because see, if a person keep judging by somebody by their past, and
Everybody be jacked up. You see what I'm
you
saying?
understand what I'm saying?
I don't
It's
hope
about
that.
what you see in a man today.
Not what he did yesterday, but what he's doing today and tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Just like I can't begin to express how much I'm proud of you. I tell you this all the time.
Yes.
I don't care about no cameras rolling. I told you this away from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To whom is much is given, much is required. When you're doing your part. And that's what I appreciate about you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I admire about you.
Right, right.
See what I'm saying? My thing is that my sobriety has it where I do not want to relapse and be found dead, messing with that stuff, and my family have to answer to it. Oh man, Peter was this, he was that, he was this. But he had them drugs took him out. No, I don't want that to be my epitaph.
Right, right.
I don't want my family to endure that. Yeah, man, Peter was all right, but he let drugs get us. No. When I die, they ain't gonna be behind no drugs.
Right. Well, people gotta know you're a smart man, brother. See, a lot of times people wanna
Appreciate that.
say people are smart because of how educated they are. It ain't always how educated
No.
you are.
I got a PhD in these streets.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the biggest educated guy myself. You know what I'm saying?
God has granted me to have a PhD in these streets.
Yeah.
In these streets. He helped me to get on the. See, I liken drugs as with being we're in a tunnel. God let some people get out of that tunnel. Some of them, they get trapped in it.
Right.
Some of them let them see that light at the end of the tunnel. Some of them it's an oncoming train and they get run over. He let me see the light at the end of the tunnel and dodge the train coming. He called me it was a train. But he let me veer away from the tracks and not get run over by that train. That's how I like drugs,
Right.
addiction.
Right.
We're in a tunnel.
Right.
And God let some of us get out of that tunnel. Some of them, no, you can't make it. I'm not gonna let you make it. He let me make it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thank him for it.
You know why? You're right here. And whenever somebody tells a story of life, if it helped one person,
Ooh, wait. I wrote that in my book.
you
My
understand?
manuscript. If it's one person that I could help, my life would not have been in vain.
Right, right.
Just like with you, people you help, your life ain't in vain because you help people.
Oh yeah, it's part of what I do, man.
Charity covers a multitude of sins. You got to give to those who are less than you. If you don't, God have a way of taking it from you.
Yeah.
Because you wasn't charity.
Right, right.
You see a man, when I say you, I'm generalizing.
Yeah.
You see a person, you know they down and out. They ain't on drugs, you know, you got a mind, your mind is saying, no, they ain't on drugs, they need help. Yeah, come on, you hungry? Yeah, come on. I don't know how many times I've done that. Bobo's, different Chipotle,
Right.
you know, whatever little eatery. Come on, let's go. What you gonna do? No, I need them. One time, a guy asked me for some money, and I said, no. Yo, I was in Bobo. Come on, get him what he want. No, I want the money. I said, you want the money? You said you was hungry. I'm ready to buy you something to eat. He was gonna take the money and go buy something, whatever it was he was gonna buy.
Right.
I said, no, I can't help you.
Wow.
But the ones that I felt to this day that I feel that needed, they need. Like I said, charity covers a multitude of sins. When you give to people who are less than you, God gives you a blessing.
Well, I thank God for giving me a platform,
Yes, sir.
or putting me in a position to be able to help people.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he's helped you.
Oh man.
He's helped you. He's helped me. So I gotta help others.
Yeah.
If I don't, I'm nothing.
Well, people gotta remember.
He can take it from me.
One thing people gotta remember.
Because you ain't doing nothing with it.
Now, see, people think God only saved people from drugs.
Oh man, come on. Nothing can be further from the truth.
This is what I'm saying. So, God saved people from a multitude of things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't just drugs. So remember that.
People gotta remember that. It ain't just drugs.
Yeah.
You can be addicted to watching soaps. You can be addicted to the salt,
When it
sugar.
comes to that, there's a whole lot of addiction out there.
It's people that are addicted to sugar, sodium. Take away from sugar, and they'll get the willies.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, get the willies.
They get sugar in so many different ways.
Salt, sodium, and sugar, and so many. Everything you read is sodium and sugar. Added sugars. You gotta stay away from added sugar. I'm a label reader.
Before we get out of here, eventually, if somebody want to know how to become a referee, you know, what training do they need to take? Do they go to college for it? I remember some college courses when I was over at Long Beach City. They had some, you know.
Well, you got recreation, PE and rec. You look the course recreation. That's a start, but the other start is getting into an association, getting into a unit, basketball, baseball, football unit, taking those tests and stuff. I can give people information on how they can do that.
Mhm.
But you have to take a test, you have to be certified and stuff like that.
Right,
They don't just, hey man, come on, I need you to referee the game. You gotta know what you're doing.
Right, right.
I go to school for this.
Gotta be even fingerprinted for that.
Oh, well, yeah, they scan you, yeah, because of,
Kids.
pedophiles, you know.
Yeah, kids.
Back in the 90s, man, I ain't gonna name no names. Here again, I'm not a proponent of naming names, because they ain't here to defend themselves. I know two guys that was pedophiles and they messing with kids and stuff, and so they said, man, we gotta do something about this here. So you gotta scan you. You got the police, they go into your police record, is you a pedophile and all that? We can't have you working around kids and you a pedophile.
Right.
Is you on record? Where the word at? I'm clean as a whistle. I don't do that.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I can't, no, I don't do that.
Hmm.
I saw somebody do that, my bad hands.
Well, one of the things I want to say before we get out of here, Pete, is thank you for one, sharing your life.
Thank you for letting me.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't got enough courage to share their life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mine is an open book.
And
I don't have nothing to hide.
we already know it's gonna help somebody.
It ain't but one.
If it ain't but one. You know. But my biggest thing is to thanks for keeping it real. You
Let
what
thine
I'm
own self be true.
Yeah. Because a lot of people can't keep it real.
I live by that credo. To thine own self be true, man. I think I can fool other people, but I
Can't
fool
fool
yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
Come on,
And
man.
that's one of the biggest things. And I thank God for that, you know, that you come on the podcast and keep it real. Because, you know, when I sit down with somebody, that's the biggest thing for me. Just keep it real. You know?
You are all you have, so you have to be real. And I got to say, thank you, Billy Crawford. I got to say, thank you, Dennis Bates. I got to thank Dwayne Bonner, Gregory Williams. You know, I can go on and on, man. These guys that are helping me stay strong, man.
Wow.
They're helping me to stay strong.
I mean, that,
Jerome Johnson, all the brothers for his organization. Asa Carrillo, I'm working for him as far as Little League Baseball and Whittier. I showed you a picture of me in Whittier.
Yeah.
I'm all over. He's sending me all
Yeah.
over in Downey, Whittier, La Mirada.
Yeah.
I'm with my Hispanic brothers and sisters. I'm with my white brothers and sisters, black brothers and sisters, kids umpiring.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God.
Hey, man, with that being said,
Gotta get it up today.
hey, with that being said, that's enough to end it for the night.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, man,
Sure.
for coming. And I want to say thank God for the Brown Neighborhood Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Because, man, we can think it ain't blessing somebody, but it is definitely helping somebody.
Brucey James Robert, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Fruit Loop Roberts, rest in peace.
Right.
I got to say that. You might cut it out, but
No, I ain't gonna cut it
I
out.
have to say that, man, because
Man, whenever
they right
somebody
here,
says
man.
something,
Mitchell, all them, man. Remember
you got
Mitchell?
to keep it because that's gonna help somebody. You know? So God, I just wanna say thank you for Petey coming. Thank you for the platform of the Browns Neighborhood Podcast. You know, I had no idea where it was going myself.
Billy Smiley,
Yeah,
Keith Anderson.
yes.
I can go, man, forgive me, man.
No.
I can't let them brothers go without me, because they my inspiration. Petey, you all right? Petey, they still check on me. You all right? Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I ain't going back on that stuff. Them the brothers that care about me say, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. McKay, I play golf with these people. Don Wells, Thaddeus Jackson, C.D. Jackson. Thank you,
Well,
man.
you know what? Your mind is good, I will tell you that. Because as many names
Gotta
as you
give it
name,
up.
my brother.
The Thompson brothers, the Fields brothers,
No, hey, look here.
the Anderson brothers, the
Ain't
Rock
nothing, look here.
brothers.
Ain't nothing wrong with that guy. I'm gonna tell you
And
that.
they keep me going, man.
Wow.
They keep me going.
Yeah, man. So hey, we gonna get out of here. Lord,
E.B.
thank-
Fish,
If I don't shut it down, Petey gonna keep naming
J.
his
Bo,
name.
Waddy, Evo.
Lord, thank you, God. Until next time on the Browns Neighborhood Podcast, much love.
Yes, sir. Take it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate
I mean
you,
that,
son.
man. I mean that.
Man, look here, man. I appreciate you. Hey, punch.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta take a leak.
Hit
Hey, man, I
that.
appreciate you, man.
Hit that stop button on that phone.
I already did that, bro.
On both of the phones.
Oh, no, not the phone. Oh, I got a leak.
Hand me them phones, Elder. Hand me the phone, Peter.
I can take it off now?
Yeah, you take it off, man. Bro, you stand down. Bro, you stand down.
That was a good podcast.
Huh?
That was a good
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that, man. Everything was from the heart, man. Everything was from the heart.